Today we're going to make the dough for the Struffoli, otherwise known as honey balls. Okay, so I'm going to give you ingredients now. So if you need a pen and paper, what I have here, 6 cups of all-purpose sifted flour. I got 4 tablespoons of baking powder. I got a dozen eggs. I got 1/2 pound of unsalted butter. I have 1 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and anisette. So we'll start mixing. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take my baking powder, put it into my flour, and then just mix the two nice together. To start, I'm going to take my butter and my sugar and put it into my mixing bowl. All right, it's softened butter. Okay, it's still cold. It's not like hot softened butter, if that makes sense to you. And then I'm going to take my vanilla and I'm going to put it right in. I'm going to go in with our paddle. We're just going to start mixing the two of them together. We're not looking to cream them, but we're just looking to get that butter broken down and mixed with the sugar. So I'll tilt this over so you can see. Now I'm going to start mixing in my eggs slowly just to get them mixed in. We got our butter, our sugar, our vanilla, and our eggs mixed in together in a mixer. I'm going to take a jig or a nice little splash of anisette. If you want to measure it, I'd say about a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons. So I got my butter, my sugar, my eggs, my vanilla, my anisette in the bowl. Now I'm going to take my baking powder and flour and start adding it to the mixer. And I tend to see a lot of different recipes. I don't want to say there's as many recipes for Struffoli out there as there is for tiramisu, but everybody has their family recipes. My mother's been making this recipe since I can remember. When you love something, you stick with it. Make sure everything's getting mixed in from the side. Give it one little quick whip. Don't try that at home. I'm professional. All right. So almost like a thick cake batter. So what I do now at this point, I'm going to take it out of the bowl. I'm going to put it into a clean bowl. I'm going to cover it. I like to let it sit for 12, 24 hours, whatever you want, just to let it tighten up a little bit. And then we'll do our honey balls or our dough into balls, and then we're going to fry it. We made our dough. We let it sit. I like to let it sit for whatever you want, 12, 24 hours is fine. So it was in the refrigerator. It tightened up nicely. So now we're going to make our ropes for making and cutting our honey balls. So I'm going to take out a little bit of dough from the bowl. Minimal flour. You don't want to overflour your surface. If you overflour, you're just going to slide it across. So I'm going to take my dough. I'm going to take just a little bit of flour in my hands just to get started. And then my surface is very, very light. And I'm just going to start rolling my ropes. Okay? Use 2 hands, nice and gentle. If it starts getting sticky, just take a little bit more flour and just gently put it over. Like I said, if you put too much flour when you start rolling, you're just going to slide it across your counter. If they get long, if you got a big piece, just cut it in half and make it easier on yourself. You don't need to go too big. This is about a 1/4 inch. You can make them as big as small as you like, whatever size Struffoli or honey balls. So now I got this. Now I'm going to put a little more flour on the table because I don't want them to stick. I got a couple I rolled out. We're going to line them up. Nice. I'm going to put a little more flour. I'm going to take my bench scraper. Okay, and then just cut them. Like I said, whatever size pieces you want. And then you can go right down the line. Before you start rolling and cutting, get your oil on. I got a pot of oil here. It's canola oil. I got up to 350 degrees. So now we got our Struffoli all cut. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it out. So this is like a little grill screen. Works for me. You can do whatever you want. Just what it's going to do is help get the excess flour. So you want enough flour so they don't all stick together, but you don't want to put excess flour into your fryer. So this way I can take this and I can shake this out and my excess flour is gone. And we're going to gently put it in. Gently put it in. Gently put it in. We got the Struffoli in. Get yourself a wire strainer or a skimmer like this. A double paper bag. You can put into whatever you want. You want to put it onto sheets or towels on a sheet pan. That's fine. For me, my mother always put it right into a double paper bag. Let it sit for whatever, a few hours, soak up, and then if you have more bags, transfer it in. Look at this beautiful golden brown color. Okay, and we're going to go right into the paper bag. Look how beautiful those are. All right, so we made the dough. We rolled, cut the honey balls. We're frying them. Next, we're going to coat them with honey. Go. They sat for a little bit in the paper bags just for some of the oil to absorb. I like to dry them out a little bit. This way they absorb the honey a little bit better. So now in a pot, give yourself some room. Take your honey, your favorite honey. This is mine. I don't care what anyone says. Best honey on the market. Golden Blossom. I imported it from New York. Look at me. Put it in the pot. Now some people will put sugar and water and I don't know, in my eyes, cheapens it out a little bit. We'll go a little more honey. You could. If you want it to be a little bit harder like a shell, then use sugar. But I like the honey's nice and keeps them soft. So we're going to heat it up. Got a nice wooden spoon. Hold off on putting them in until your honey is nice and hot. It'll liquefy it a little bit, make it a little bit smoother. Normally, I go into a pie pan with a doily, old school, right? Like Marie taught me. But my wife didn't want that. She wanted a little soldier boy plate. So this is what they're going to get served on this year. Then, whatever you want to call them, Jimmy's, sprinkles, nonpareils. These are the ones right here. Cute little Christmas colors. It's nice and loose now, the honey. I'm going to take some of my honey balls. I'm going to put them right into the bowl, to the pot. Don't do too many at once. All right? And now I'm going to coat them, just nice and gentle. Try to fold them over so you don't ruin the nice little balls you made. Take it off the heat. Let them sit. Take my little plate. Well, we lost one. It's for the dog. I'm just kidding. The dog's not allowed to eat honey. And then we're going to take our nonpareils while they're still warm and sticky. Make sure you do it. And then try not to make a mess like me. There you go. Struffoli, honey balls, whatever you want to call them. Have a Merry Christmas. A Buon Natale.